So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on live, you guys, because it is definitely like the most inconvenient time for everyone else right now to be on a call because it's dinner time, and this is just the only time I could do it. So I wanted to do it this way instead of going live in the page because I wanted to be able to share my screen and kind of show you guys some things that I do for onboarding coaches and getting them started right. And I wanted to be able to switch through screens comfortably, as well as make sure I answered your questions that you asked prior to this call. So thanks for jumping on. I'm really excited to share this with you. I was actually at a mastermind at Christina's a couple weekends ago, and she said something about like onboarding coaches or something. And she's like, well, but you need to get it in a system. And I said, well, I have it in a system. And she's like, but I mean like on paper. And I'm like, I have it on paper. And she's like, then are you sharing it with your upline? And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. This system though, I took a lot from the online office, and I guess I just like ran it a few times and tweaked it until I found like it was, for right now, perfect for what we need. And really every coach that goes through it, I think that it helps whatever type of coach they are, because they can do it self-paced, they can do it guided, and it's easy to hand down and duplicate in the with your coaches. And it's easy to pull up people to help every month to run them. So I'm really confident in this type of system, and this is what I do. I'm going to share everything with you guys. You guys can use it. You can use it as an idea. You can use the exact thing and just change it to your email address and your stuff, whatever. But I've found a lot of success with this. And I know that I can say that because yes, I've probably recruited a little differently most recently. Like I'm definitely getting more my people that are ready to run. Like I'm always recruiting my people, but I mean, I guess more recently I've recruited people that like have that same, I want to run like you personality. But even with that being said, when I asked my whole team to come in here, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I just got so much out of that. And I've seen Success Club numbers hit more consistently with newer coaches from the get-go with this system than I ever have since being a coach. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Lindsey Gray. I have been a coach for almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in May, and that seems like freaking insane. Okay, so really crazy. I started when I was 25 weeks pregnant with my first. He is 4.5, and then I have an almost 8-month-old as well. And I started when I was 25 weeks pregnant, and really, I didn't know what I wanted out of the business. I knew the possibility, but I still didn't believe that I could do it. But I wanted to try, and I wanted to try to believe in myself. And basically, I hit the ground running pretty quickly. I had Owen in September, and then November, October. I think was it October that you enrolled as a coach, Amanda? I don't know. November. Okay. So I hit the ground running, and I loved it. And then I had this amazing challenger who told me she never wanted Shakeology or to be a coach. And so just to let her in for accountability, and I did. But that was Amanda. And she, in November and December, I didn't hit Success Club for the first time. I was a Success Club starter. It all made sense to me for one thing. And I'm going to tell you that one line that's, if you take anything away from this, that's an important line to remember here in a minute. But in November and December, I didn't hit it because I was trying to balance a newborn and I was really stuck. And then Amanda came in and she invited me, or she wanted to go to a live event coach camp that year. And I went because I believed in her, but I didn't so much believe in myself. And then from there, we just built this amazing thing together, and it's been fun. And the thing that I think makes us the most successful, both of us are now retired from our full-time jobs, living life by design on our own. It was 2.5 years I was able to do it, and I think it was 3.5 years that Amanda finally pulled the trigger and jumped, because it's a scary jump to make. But the thing that I was trying to think of, like, what's different and what do I think really keeps us going? And it's that we are always having fun. And if we're not having fun, we change what we're doing, whether it's the way we're hosting groups, whether it's the way we're teaching coaches. Like if I get bored in my business, then everyone else is bored and I need to make this fun again. And when I'm having fun, everyone else is having fun. So the main thing I want to tell you guys right now is that this is not about recruiting at all. It's about once you get your people there and how to keep them going and get them the education that they need to be successful, whatever success means to them in this business. But let's just say that for a second, we're going to talk about recruiting. And one sentence that I want you to remember for your business forever is that people are not going to join you because of where you're at. Okay. They're not going to join me because I've retired with a 6-figure income after 2.5 years. They're not going to join me because of that. That's intimidating. It was intimidating for me to join Christina. I didn't join her because of where she was. People are not going to join you because of where you're at. They're going to join you because of where you're going and how excited you are to get there. Okay. So that's why they're going to join you. So why am I successful with my new coaches time and time again? It's not because of one specific way that I onboard every single coach. I've changed my training up over and over again, but I'll tell you that every time I do it, I am my biggest fan of my training. I am excited about it, and I know it's getting me to where I want to go, and it's going to get them there too. And that is the difference. So, a lot of times we get this thing in our face, like we get this idea that recruiting is hard, and especially when we don't have a system we're confident in. Like I remember, I don't know if it was Amanda or someone else on my team was like, I just don't really like inviting people to the business opportunity because then it's like I don't have a system that I'm owning. I don't think it was Amanda now that I'm thinking of it. I think it was someone else, but they didn't have a system they were owning to get people that success. And it's like at the end of the day, you just need to own a system. You just need to have a way that you're sharing what you're doing and help them duplicate. And you just I'm echoing. Hold on. And you just need to remember that they don't care where you're at right now. All they care about is where you're going and how excited you are to get there and how excited that journey is for you, how exciting it is, because then it's going to be exciting for them too. Okay, so we are going to talk today about getting your new coaches started right. Every coach could do this different. And really, there's no right or wrong way, because at the end of the day, I want to tell you that I'm going to share this system with you, but no one actually needs this system. If someone's going to be successful, they're going to be successful with or without this. They're going to be successful because they want to be. They're going to be successful because they're having fun, because they're excited, because you're doing it together. But the systems do help, right? So the very first thing I want to tell you is that when you have a system for bringing coaches on, a few tips, whatever it is, because you can take mine and have it, or you can alter it to be your own. But the thing that I have found over the past 5 years is that it needs to be for everyone. So let's take an example here. I am a self-starter. Give me a packet, tell me what to do. I'll go through it at my pace. I'll probably do it pretty quickly, and I'll be out there doing what I need to do as quick as I can. Okay? But my mom wants to ask questions about every page. She needs to be guided a little bit more. She needs to have her hand held a little bit more. Okay? You need a system that's going to help both of these people. You need a system that is going to be for the self-starter, and you need a system that's going to be for the hand holder. You also need something that you can hand down to others, and that is simple. So websites are amazing. I can't even think of her name right now. Christine Dwyer. Woo! I don't know why I couldn't think of her name, but she has a system for training. Christina has a system for training. Amanda and I and Carly and Megan, a couple other girls on our team, created a system for training, a website. Websites are awesome. I'll be the first to tell you, it's like, my coach has a website. I go here, I click, I learn, la, la, la. The thing about websites is that no one else can own it but you. So when someone wants to duplicate your success and they want to be a leader as well, now they feel like they need to recreate the wheel because they can't just duplicate what was there. So if you want to have a website, have the website, but also have it on a file in a way that you can duplicate it for other people. Okay. So I think Amanda has a lot of the information. Like she is a self-starter and she has it on a website that people can go to. But she also has a way that she can go through it with them. Okay. And that's the important thing, is that you need to adhere to those different people. So what I'm going to give you today is going to allow you to hand this down. And it's also going, if you're a website person, it's also going to allow you to create something bigger out of it if that's what you want to do. For me, I like to keep everything simple. Like if someone's like, hey, let's make this really pretty highlight on our Instagram, for instance, Sarah Hannon was like, go to this and then do this and then do this and then do this. And then you get this pretty picture. And I'm like, can't I just go to Pic Collage and like put the name there and save it? And yeah, you can do that, right? Like I just need it simple. So everything you're going to get from me today is I'm keeping it as simple as possible, but you can go ahead and make it a really pretty website. You can do that. You can do whatever you want. So the main thing before I dive into showing you all of this, I'm answering questions and things first, and then I'm going to show you all this. So the main thing when you're getting your new coaches started right, you guys, is keeping in contact with them. It's important for us to contact them every other day. If they want to run every day, if they're walking every other day, but you want to keep checking in on them. And I'm going to tell you that the best way to keep them on track is to check in on them in their first month still as a customer. Because so many times once a customer becomes a coach, we forget that they're a customer. We forget that they still need us. So we start trying to, you're going to run this challenge group with us and this is what we're going to do. And we forget that they still need help on their accountability for what they're here for in the first place, what got them here in the first place. So the very first thing that you need to remember is to keep in contact with them, but make sure that you're keeping in contact with them as a customer. I never talk to coaches as a team member. Like I always keep them in my mind as this is a customer of mine until they graduate through this program. And this program is a 1-month program, but they may have to do it a couple times. And until they graduate out of this program, that is when I now look at them as a coach and I start checking in on them as a coach. So when I'm checking in on them as a customer, I'm checking in on, okay, so how are you doing with your meal plan? Are you still getting your meal prep done? Are you still getting your workout done? How are you doing with planning your day? Do we need to talk about scheduling here? Okay, we're good there. Now, how are you doing with the vital behaviors of the business, right? I'm going to touch base on that, but I always need to check on them first as a customer, because when you become a coach, especially if you become a coach and a customer all at once, but either way, whether you were a customer before, either way, it's a lot. And you kind of all of a sudden are juggling all these things and it's hard. So you need to make sure that you're checking in on them as a customer and making sure they're taking care of them still, because if they're not, then they're going to fall off of everything. And really we need to make sure that they're good with why they were here to begin with. So you're keeping in contact and you're juggling those 3 balls. So there's 3 balls that, hold on, I'm not good with thinking of names today. Hold on, Melissa McAllister. She did a call for corporate and it was awesome. And she basically said there's 3 balls that she's juggling all the time. One is her funnel of new prospects. She's continuously always adding new prospects to her Instagram and new people to her Facebook. Always. That's one funnel. The other funnel she's juggling is contacting her new coaches, making sure that she's there for them in the way that they need her to be. And then the third one is keeping in touch with her leaders. Because and I've experienced this myself, once we have a leader, we feel like they don't need us anymore. And we forget that they need us still in every other way. So when someone becomes a customer, they need us at this level. When they become a coach, they need us here. But what we need to do is not just meet them here. We often jump here or jump to that leadership level, but we still need to touch and meet them on all those levels, which is hard to do. And it's something that I still struggle with because, we only have so much time in a day, right? It's hard to do. But those are the 3 balls that you want to be trying to juggle all the time. So with new coaches, when you're touching base with them, you're checking in on them as to where they're at with their personal journey and how they're sharing it. and how they're showing up on social media. Are they excited? And that's my main focus for them. My main focus for them is that they're doing a program, they're excited about it, they're sharing it, and I'm making sure that they're taking care of them first. I don't care if they don't do a single thing for a whole week in the new coach group, as long as they're working on themselves and sharing their journey and they're excited about where they're going, because that's why people join them anyway. But they're going to have to go through this. It just might take them a couple months to get through it, and that's fine. So I'm helping them with conversations in the beginning. I really encourage everybody to share their conversations with me, and I help them close their conversations to help them get their first wins. So I'm always telling them, share your conversations with me. Let me know how it's going. And in the beginning, guess what? I get bombarded with questions from them, and I get bombarded with help with conversations, but I'm not annoyed of it, because if I wasn't getting bombarded with that, then it wouldn't be a coach that was running. It'd be a coach that was overwhelmed. It'd be a coach that was withdrawing. It wouldn't be a coach that's trying to figure it out and fail forward. So if people are needing me in that way, and if people are needing you guys, my biggest recommendation would just be to set boundaries for the time that you're going to check your phone, and say, from 5 to 6, I'm checking in on my new coaches. I'm helping them with new conversations, and I am really helping them get their first wins. Make a little, even if it's just 10 minutes a day, set time aside that you're specifically checking in with them every other day and helping them with these things. I even do it with my coaches all the time, because they need that. They don't understand the verbiage yet. They don't know. I'm 5 years in and I'm still learning things about the business. So you really just want to help pull people up to your level as much as possible and teach them what you know as much as possible. Now, with that being said, here's the thing. If they're asking questions they should know, or it's somewhere else, do not hesitate to say, Google it and let me know what you come up with. Go to the FAQ and let me know what you find. Okay, you want to tell them that's how they do it, but the conversations and things, you do want to help them through those. So a new coach call is absolutely crucial to getting a new coach started right, with enrolling more people at once. And what I've found with my coaches is that I've often, when I'm doing a new coach call, I'll ask anyone on my team if they have a coach that needs to have a new coach call, and if they're not comfortable doing it yet, and I'll do a group new coach call, and that's been kind of helpful. But a new coach call, even if it's just one-on-one or if it's a group, is super important. And the biggest thing that I think makes the hugest difference with whether I feel like I'm wasting my time or not, because let's be honest, none of us want to waste our time on coaches, and not that we're wasting our time on them, but often we spend all this time on the phone or whatever with them and then they disappear. I make them have skin in the game first. They have to have skin in the game first, because it shows me how serious they are about this, and I know how much of my time is super valuable, and I know how much time I can give to them. So I will not get on a new coach call with a new coach until they go through my 5-part welcome in full. And once they do that, I will then have a new coach call with them, because I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste their time. So I'm going to go ahead and answer 2 questions that were in the group. And then I'm going to show you my 5-part welcome, show you my new coach call system, and also show you then my, my new coach group, and kind of how that works and how we layer it in for success. So let me look at what these questions were really quick, because there was one from Molly. And Molly's question, I remember, was about right here. So how do you keep people from being overwhelmed while getting them their first win? So the biggest thing about keeping people from getting overwhelmed is you have to run their pace. I find that so often we want it more than our coaches do, especially when we're just enrolling our first new coaches. So we're excited, we're building our team, we're finding our first leaders, and we want them to run, and we want it more than they do at that time. You have to really have it, feel where they're at and meet them where they're at, but push them a tiny bit. And then with them being overwhelmed, you really want to check in with them and make sure that you are helping them with their first win, with their conversations and things, but that they are putting themselves first and sharing with excitement. And you go back to what I said in the very beginning about people are going to join them because of their excitement of where they're going, and that they know where they're going and the excitement of getting there and the journey along the way, right? And I'll talk a little bit more about keeping them from overwhelmed in a minute. And then how do you get people to do a coming out post publicly at all? Some of them downright refuse. If they downright refuse, they're probably not your person, because this is a network marketing business. And if they're not going to go and put that out on social media, then they're probably not your person at all. But let's say that they're just concerned about saying they're a coach at first. I'm totally fine with my new coaches either saying they're on a new health and fitness journey and not saying they're a coach, and they're just looking for people to join them in this group, but not saying they're a coach. I'm okay with them doing that and later saying they're, kind of talking more about the coaching opportunity, or coming right out and doing a coaching thing. But I encourage it to them. I also show them an example, and I tell them to post it or show me so that I can help them tweak it. And then once they do it, I typically go in our new coach group or into my team page if the new coach group isn't up yet, and I tell people to go love on it, because then it gets them their things seen more and it makes them feel better about it. Often it's a fear, and it's really just helping them uncover that and letting them know, like, listen, I know you told me that in this business, this is what you wanted, and I want to help you get there. And the first step in you getting there is making this post. And it seems so scary, but it's not. It's going to feel good, actually, because people are going to like it and people are going to comment, and it's your first, like, here I am, right? I also like to use an analogy of, like, if you were walking down the street and there was a store that opened up on the corner, but it had no signs in the window, no sign on there, and you can see things are going on inside, but nobody's told you what they were doing. 99% of people are so concerned with themselves that they would never ask anyway. Maybe 1% would wander in to be like, what are you doing, right? You need to tell people what you're doing. And when you tell people, probably about 50% of people then are going to be interested in what you're saying, right? They're going to stop in at some point. They're going to want to try the product at some point. But you have to put yourself out there, because we are in such a world of what am I doing and what are people commenting on my stuff, right? We're in that world that you have to just be out there showing what you're about. And it can be scary, but just kind of coach them through that. So then Christina asked, helping them sign their first new coaches and not overwhelming them with information. So I don't like to tell people everything in the beginning. I tell people, do the first thing first and the second thing not at all. So the first thing we're going to do is work on your journey, this, that, and the other. I don't even talk to them about enrolling their own coaches until they're like, hey, I think I have somebody interested. And I'm like, great, let's have this conversation now. And I walk them through it, and we do it together as if I'm enrolling a coach. And I show them how I would do it. And then they learn it by doing it that way. So that's what I've found the biggest success. When a lot of people, you do have those people that want to know everything right away. And often I tell them, like, I can tell you all this, but it's going to be overwhelming, and if you just trust me and let me help you when that time comes, then that'll be great. Because there is a time in my, in the training, I actually strategically host a free group followed by a challenge group, followed by a sneak peek every single month in that order. And so chances are they're going to enroll their first coach, and they're going to be around the same time other people are, because everyone's inviting to the sneak peek at the same time. And I can have this conversation and go live in the new coach group and answer all this stuff for multiple people, opposed to just one, but still help them close with their conversations. Okay. So I often encourage them, to just kind of hold tight on that. Unless they have someone right away, then I just do that one-on-one with them. Make sure they do the training and you're not answering hundreds of questions that are in the training. So I'm very much a believer that if they're going to do the training, they're going to do it. And if they're not, then they're not. And that's not on me. I used to own that. I used to get really upset about it. And now I realize that that's just fine. That's where they're at. And I need to own where I am. They'll own where they am. I can only encourage them and help them on their journey as a customer of mine still so much. and that coaching will come when they're ready. I have coaches that are complete rock stars now that for the first 6 months, just like blip, 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 blip. And I wanted to keep pushing. But if I would have, they probably would have just disappeared altogether. But now they're ready to run because I allowed them to just come around. So when they're not doing the training, the best thing that I would say to do is just keep checking in on them as a customer. Make sure that they're still getting results. Make sure they're still feeling good. Make sure that they're still loving the community. And then with the not answering hundreds of questions, I used to always get frustrated about that, and I would answer them. And then I realized that it was my own frustration. I don't have to answer them. Like I said, when they ask questions, I'll say, that's a great question. Do you remember learning that in this video? Here it is. Or go to YouTube and search this, or go to Google and search this. And then I teach them how to search for those things. So then I'm not answering their questions all the time. Of course, there's going to be questions I'm answering, but I also encourage them all to post their questions in the new coach group so that I can answer them publicly. And then usually that, covers a whole bunch of bases there. So that pretty much answers the questions there. I'm not gonna, there's only a few of you on live, but I'm going to go ahead and go through everything. And then if you guys have questions at the end, you can ask, because I will be giving quite a bit of information. I might cover any questions that you have. So let's start with, we enroll a coach, we get them in. The very first thing that I do with my new coaches is I'm really excited, you guys. Your coaches are going to be 50% excited as you are. Because they're pretty scared shitless in the beginning. They're like, what did I just do? Right? Like, this is scary. This is a scary jump for me. Can I do this? Your excitement when they enroll needs to be genuine, and it needs to be not annoying, but it needs to be up there. It needs to be like, oh my gosh, I am so, and I often say, remind them of why they're doing this. I am so excited. I always tell them, let me know when you're done so I can make sure it went through okay. Okay, so they'll let me know, okay, I just finished. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so proud of you. I know you're scared, but I also know that this is really important to you as a single mom to really have this plan B. And I promise you, I just see it in you. You're going to be awesome. And I just all validate everything right away. Okay. Then I say, I'm going to send you a link. It's to a 5-part welcome. I just want you to go through this at your own pace. Every part that you complete, let me know I'm done with part 1. I'm done with part 2. I'm done with part 3. When you're done with part 4, we're going to schedule a new coach call for a couple days later so we know that you're done with everything. But I don't want to get on the phone with you until you're done with this, because I'll probably have to answer questions that this is going to answer for you. So this is the skin in the game, because this is 5 parts and there is a lot of training in here, but this is the skin in the game. If they do this, then they've already started their training and they're already in it, and I'm not going to waste my time, right? So with this 5-part welcome, I kind of like created some of it, and then Amanda created some of it, and then we tweaked it, and then Amanda knows how to do all this wonderful, I don't even know what that's called. Amanda's the tech behind all of this, okay? But this is what we use, and then I might have it look a little different for me to sound like me, and Amanda has a little different for her to sound like her, and then we put it in our team pages, and our coaches can use it. Use it. The minute you're a coach, change your phone number, change your email. This is for you when you have your new coaches, and there you go. But it's also in our team page to access as well. So the first one is really just getting their websites. And I'm going to share this with you guys, so don't feel like you need to jot down all this stuff. Really just sharing their websites, teaching them how to get onto their online office, talk about the Facebook groups that they are a part of, because those can be really kind of confusing at first. Seeing how, like, I have them be a member of Dream Extreme. I need to update this because now there's the United Coach Collaboration. I don't have that on here. My personally sponsored page, and then my actual full downline team page. And then eventually the first Monday of every month, I have a new coach group start. So their new Coach Basics group would start there as well. So I like to tell them which ones to really be paying attention to and stuff there, how they can contact me. It's really important for your coaches to have your phone number. Your new coaches need to know that if they have a question, they can text it to you. Because I don't know about you, but I don't like to check into my messages all the time, and I have set times when I'll look at my inbox so I avoid it because I don't want to get sucked in, and maybe it's family time or I just need a break or whatever. So having the phone number is important. It also makes them then feel more personally connected to you, which is a huge reason of why they stay and they go. Remember, they joined you because of you, not Beachbody. Okay. So I tell them how to get their questions answered, give them the challenge pack reminder. And then they let me know they're done with that. Part 2 is setting up their profile, and then what to do before our new coach call. Right here, it has them go into the online office, and I basically went back there myself with the new trainings that are back there, and I put in here all the things that I think would be the most important to hear before we got into our new coach training. It's not all the training back there, but it's some of it, like the vital behaviors, so that when we get on our new coach call, they already know what that is, and I can focus more on them, right? Instead of all this information that I'm filling their head with. Skills, tools, and training, compensation, training, it basically, team development. I mean, it's a lot. It looks like you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going cross-eyed. But when they go through this, they can check off each thing that they've done. And when they're done with part 2, so they have all that training and then set up their Facebook, which is just changing their profile picture and whatever. And then there's this actually doesn't, I have to change that out too. It's not working as of recent. So I found another one that I'm going to use that's Facebook for new coaches. But part 2 is huge. If a person's going to stay with me as a coach, they finish part 2 or they don't. Often at part 2, we already know if we're wasting our time because it's a ton of training in the online office. Not a ton. It might take them a couple hours, an hour if they really sit down and do it, and setting up their Facebook a little bit, which doesn't take too long. But if they can get through part 2, they're typically worthy of my time at this point, right? Because they're already putting the skin in the game. So part 3 is really then their mindset and their goals. So kind of they have to plan it out and then they email it to me so I can see what their goals are. And so that when I get on their new coach call with them, I already know their goals and I can talk to them about it. And then part 4 is kind of talking about what to expect throughout the next 60 to 90 days. So it's pretty short, getting organized. And then step 5 is how to stay connected. So at that point, I'm going to tell them about our team calls, which we have the first Monday of every month. I'm going to tell them about the new coach mentorship, about other ways to get connected as well. So this is all the things that we offer on our team calls, national wake up call, live events, summit, Success Club trip, everything. So when they do this 5-part email at their own pace, you guys, they come into the new coach group or my new coach call with them already knowing a lot. They have a few questions. I follow it up. I know their goals, and we can really talk about this as how it's going to work for them. Why is this huge? Because a long time ago, I used to do new coach calls where I tried to tell them all this information myself. And they got off the phone confused, overwhelmed, wondering if they could do this. Now they know all this. They get on a new coach call with me, and all I do is breathe belief into their goals, into what they told me they want, and answer these few questions. But I can breathe all this belief into, oh, and I saw that in 30 days you said you want to do this. We can totally do this. This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to help you. And they leave the call feeling supported and excited and like this, they can do it, opposed to overwhelmed. So that new coach call is huge. And we often let that go. I know there were times I'd be like, oh, just do this training and we don't need to do a call. We'll just voice back and forth. I found that they really need that for you to believe in them and support them. So I give them the 5-part welcome. From there, I also add them into my team page. I always do a public shout out on Facebook. I ask for their permission first. But that is another way that I get for people if they didn't want to do a public coming out post, you do it for them. Just ask for their permission to tag them in it. And then from there, I do a new coach call with them. So I set up their new coach call. Like I said, they have to have done the 5-part welcome first. So they come into the new coach call. This is a very, very basic new coach presentation. Very basic, because I hand it to my team. It's in my team page files. Use it. Let this guide you on your first new coach call, because you guys know in Beachbody or in our teams, what we believe in is we'll do it together. I'll do it for you. We'll do it together. And now you do it. What I believe with my coaches is I'll do it for you. Let's do it together. Let's do it together until we shouldn't do it together anymore, and then you do it. I don't think there's just a one time we do it together. Some coaches need a couple times. Some people need 10 times. But you need to know when to push and when to hold. And that's the hard part, is especially with a self-starter, you need to know, like, sometimes you just need to hand hold. And maybe it's not your strong suit, but you just have to. And if you're a hand holder and someone's a self-starter, you just need to let them fly sometimes, but you still need to know those barriers. So that's kind of like a learning game as you grow. But this is very simple to just hand off. And for when people are ready, it's not so scary to do their new coach call the first time, because they have the system in front of them. So I get on the call and I basically, once again, I make it completely about them right away. Tell me more about you. What do you like to do? Tell me a little bit about your family. What do you do for work? What do you do for fun? And what is your why and your driving force? Now, if I already know all of this, I often skip right to the bottom. I'll just say, how are you today? How's everything going? How's your week been? Right? Catch up a little bit. So it's not all business. And then I get to, okay, remind me why you want this again. At that point, a lot of people are very surface with their whys. At that point is when I help them get deeper with it. Okay, so this is why, but what would that feel like if you achieved that, right? And start allowing them to feel the excitement of when that were to happen, because those feelings and emotions are what's going to take them further in the business. So then we talk about their goals. They already told me their goals. So I kind of say, based on the goals that you told me, I feel like you kind of land in, number 3, you want to earn this or whatever. And then with knowing exactly what type of coach they are, if they just want to cover their shake, if they just want to make extra 500, 50,000, or they want to make this their whole shebang in life, then I know how to tailor this call. I know the speed that I need to push them to, if we're walking, if we're running, and how much information I really need to give them. Okay. On a group call, it's a little bit more difficult, but I still do this. And then I just try to group, okay, these 2 people are here and these are here. So I'll try to touch on both. So right away, every coach, I give a 30 to 60 day roadmap. The 30 day for everyone, no matter where they land, is in 30 days, we're going to earn your cost back. Okay. So I do the help them earn their cost back. We already talked about how I'm doing conversations with them. You're also going to learn how I do that when I show you the outline in a few minutes. So the 60 day would be become Emerald rank. Now, typically, if they're just trying to cover their shake, we don't need to have that 60 day goal for them. That's going to be a bonus. But anybody above wanting to earn more than their shake, they want to hit Emerald rank and build a team to have that solid 200 a month, 500 a month, or whatever, because they want that security. And so you just have to make sure that when you're talking about Emerald rank, you're just keeping it exciting, and about how it's going to be fine, because we're going to bring these people in. They're going to love the community. It's naturally going to happen. I'm going to help you do that. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but I give them an example here about how to make their coming out post. And I'm going to share this stuff with you guys too in the group, how to follow up with people that like that post that they make. And then I just touch on some things that are important. They already learned about Success Club if they did their 5-part welcome, but I want to make sure, are there any questions on it? We can either skip over it or dive into it more. Talk about success starters. Same thing with Emerald rank. They already know what it is if they did their 5-part welcome, but let's just touch on it because it's important. Let me know if you don't understand anything. We'll go very surface with cycle bonus and legs. And even for those emeralds that want to know it all right then, I tell them, listen, let's talk about that at the end of your new coach group. At the end of your new coach group, we're going to have a call. We're going to dive deeper into cycle bonus and legs. But right now, let's just set your preferred placement for left and move forward, okay? And then basically, I just remind them about the team pages that they're going to be on, the vital behaviors, the daily activity, and how I'm going to be putting them into the new coach group. My new coach group starts the first Monday of every month, and it happens every single month, whether I have a new coach or not. I always usually at least have a couple, but like 1 or 2 to anywhere between around 1 and 6. I don't recruit high numbers a month, but I recruit quality people. There's a big difference in that. I would rather recruit that way. So really knowing who you are and speaking to your people is huge. And recruiting that way has really helped and worked in my business. So, and then I tell them, I'm going to be putting you in this new coach group. Here we go. So that is our new coach call. From there, they go in the new coach group. This is the system, right? So the new coach group is a group on Facebook. In the group, and I can show you our March group right now. In our group, we have, like I said, I keep it simple. It's nothing fancy for the cover photo. In the file section, I always have the same files: GEMS personality test, consultation questions, Coach Basics participant guide, the new coach presentation, a couple different ways of tracking, because everybody has to find a way that works for them, but I make people commit to a way of tracking. Whether they hate it for the month or not, it's going to teach them what they need, and they're going to be able to find a different tracking system, but tracking is important. And just some sample conversations and things like that in the file section. So they come into our new coach group, and typically in the file section, I usually have the copy of Launch Phase 1 and the copy of Launch Phase 2 in the files as well. Launch Phase 1 and Launch Phase 2, these I got from the Coach Online Office. It's part of the 30-day, I forget what it's called, but it's part of what they've created for us. And that is what I'm using. But I've put my own spin on it to help coaches dive in deeper. And basically there's Launch Phase 1 and Launch Phase 2. And Launch Phase 1, every day, what they have is it has a quote for the day, and then it teaches them something, and then it has a daily action. So the reason I typically have a Launch Phase 1 and a Launch Phase 2 in the file section is because, remember, I have people that need hand-holding, and I also have people that want to be self-starters. So some people don't want to wait every single day for one post. They have 1 hour tonight, and they want to do as many daily actions as possible, and maybe they finish Launch Phase 1 in 3 days. They want to go their own pace. So I put those in there so they can go their own pace. But I also put those in there for the people that are really far behind, and they only can do this business a couple days a week so far, and they don't have enough time to catch up. And instead of scrolling the page, they can go into the files section and just pick up where they left off. Okay, so this is from, like I said, the online office. That is what those are from. I'm going to put all these in the groups too. The files that I add are right here as well. But basically, Launch Phase 1 is 12 days. So we go straight through Monday, the first Monday of the month. We have a kickoff call on the first Monday of the month. We go straight through for 12 days. It ends on a Friday. I give them Saturday and Sunday off to catch up. And then Launch Phase 2 is 10 days. And then that's their new coach training. 12 days with 2 days off, and then 10 days. But it's not that makes this group so special. It's what happens, what we provide as leaders for them to invite to. And so this format sheet is the most important part. So basically it tells exactly how to host it. The first Monday of the month, we always do a kickoff call. What we go over in the kickoff call is outlined right here. We talk a little bit about social media. We talk about how to do customer orders. We talk about the expectation of the monthly PV to stay active, and the Hype of Success Club and challenge groups. We go over our team calendar, what they'll be inviting to and when, and we do questions and answers. So that's our kickoff call. We do that on Monday night. They do have that first post in the morning. We have that call Monday night. So what we do is on Tuesday then, somebody, whoever it is, which is typically myself and a couple other people, I always have a part in every new coach group because I find that it's just, I just have to. I have to be consistent like that. That's just how my business, my brain runs. So what will happen is normally the lives happen on Mondays, but I do the first one on Tuesday because they just got a ton of information on Monday night. And so on Tuesday, I go live and I welcome them. And I basically tell them that we are going to be focusing on this first week on the vital behaviors, only the vital behaviors. They can print off their business activity tracker, but I don't want them focusing on anything else except those vital behaviors. And I want them to figure out how it moves in their day. Where does their workout fit? Where do their posts fit? Because those vital behaviors are the things that are for them, and those vital behaviors are the things that are going to make them feel good, and it's still treating them like a customer, right? Because it's just getting them used to posting, connecting with people, inviting people as it comes about, being proof that the products work by using the products, sharing about them, reading their personal development. Everyone reads the compound effect through this training, and then recognizing each other in the group. So they're going to get used to recognition by cheering each other on and lifting people up in the group. So we go over the vital behaviors. I tell them where I fit them in my day. Like, this is when I work out. This is when I do posts. This is when, and I show them that because it's important that they schedule their day for pockets of time or that power hour, however it's going to work for them. And they understand that it's not fly by the seat of your pants. Because if you fly by the seat of your pants, you're not going to fit it in. You're going to do what you normally do in a day and be like, how can I fit this in? Because you didn't plan for it. So it's getting them to, in week one, learn how to schedule their time, learn how to fit it in, and learn how to really make sure that they're taking care of them still. As they're doing this, we are also inviting to our very first thing. So the first Monday of the month, the group starts. The second Monday of the month, a free group starts. It's a free 5-day group. I host it for them. I schedule it. I do the points. I do everything. Whoever's co-running it with me and I do. And we basically have them invite as many people as possible. So we're teaching them about the funnel and how to get people into their business, right? So as many people as you can. This is absolutely free. We're inviting as many people as we can into this free group. This free group is going to be on water, weights, and wellness, or mindset and motivation, whatever it is. And so you decide what it is. You set the group up for them. You do everything. And then in this first live on Tuesday, which is all right here, I'm explaining to them that these are the 4 vital behaviors you're going to focus on, and you're going to focus on how you're scheduling your day. And in the meantime, you're going to invite all of your friends and family that you want to feel as good as you do to this absolutely free group that's starting on Monday. I just need you to get them added to the group by Saturday. So Sunday when I go live, they're ready. And I'm inviting to this too. So all of us are trying to get as many of our customers into this free group as possible. The free group starts on Monday, right? So in their first week, they're inviting to a free group, which is super easy for them because it's scary to invite the first time. They're inviting to a free group, and they are just focusing on the vital behaviors and their personal fitness journey and just getting this Band-Aid to start being ripped off of working the business as well. Okay, so week 2 comes, and our week 2 call is always just an all-team call. I like them to be a part of that and not have a call that's specific to this group all the time, because it's important for them to connect with our team. If they don't connect with the other people on our team, then they're going to feel like they're outside. So we have that kickoff call, just them, and that next week they are all on our all-team call so that they're part of our family now. So in week 2, we have our all-team call on Monday. But Monday now, we're going live again. So week 1, we just got everyone in our free group. We just focused on our vital behaviors. Now in week 2, we're layering on the rest of the tracking activities. And we're teaching them in that live, talking to them about how they're going to interact with the people in the free group and how they're going to convert some of them into our paid challenge group that starts that next Monday. So the first Monday is our kickoff call and when our new coach group starts. The second Monday is our free group. The third Monday, a paid challenge group. And by paid, I don't mean they need to have a challenge pack. I've never, ever required anyone to have Shakeology or something, I require them to have a full consultation with me and to be open to listening to my recommendations and to be invested in trying something different that they've never tried. But that can be Energize, that can be a boost, that can be a sampler pack. Typically for me, it's always a challenge pack, but for my new coaches, it's easier for them to get somebody in and on something smaller at first. Okay. And that's fine. So in the second week, we are focusing on now, not just the vitals, but the whole tracking. So we go live, we talk about all the activities now. They should know, if you notice this, we're layering everything on. So we're now layering on, okay, you guys have perfected your hustle of the vital behaviors. Now we're just going to add a few other activities in. So you just want to find in your day where these are going to fit. And you're going to focus on this whole sheet as a whole now, and you're going to fill it out. And if there's nothing in it someday, that's fine. I just want to see it on Sundays now, starting now. I want to see it on Sundays so that I can see where I can help you. So in week 2, we're having them focus on now tracking their business activity tracker and inviting to the paid challenge group. So we're talking to them about how they're going to interact with their free group people. We're talking about how we're going to convert them. They're posting conversations in the group so that we can help them convert their free customers to the paid challenge group. And we're also teaching them in that live how to post about this publicly and start inviting other people that want to join into the challenge group. So that is week 2. So for us, I don't know how you guys do it, but for us, we always, for every challenge group, have a prep party or a prep week or a preseason. So when that free group is done, it's not like they go through a free group and then they're all in on Monday. They actually have that entire week to get people to purchase. Monday starts a week of prep. So first Monday, new coach group starts. Second Monday, free group starts. Third Monday, prep week starts. That's the final order date for the group. So while they're focusing on their free group and they're inviting, they have a whole week to get people into that challenge group and to purchase. So in week 3, we do a live power hour call. It's for all team, but we do a live power hour. And the reason it's very strategic this way is because in week 2, they just learned the entire tracker. They just started to perfect all of their tracking activities. However, they still might not understand them all. So to get on a live power hour call that's an all team, they're connected with everyone, and it's talking about everything they just learned. A live power hour, I believe, is crucial Monday night of week 3. I can run it. Anybody can run it, really. Sometimes, other people on our team run it. But it's really just making sure that everyone has access to that. So we do a live power hour on week 3. We have a new coach website that we've created that I then also tell them for extra training, you can go start dabbling into this. That's just added, so just don't even worry about that. It's not necessary. It's just an addition, but it's awesome at the same time, so I don't want to keep it from them. So week 3 starts, right? So week 2, they're talking in their free group. They get people converted into the paid challenge group. The paid challenge group kicks off day 1 of prep week. That night, we have a call on how to do and we do a live power hour together to help dive in a little bit deeper. But that day also is another live in the new coach group, because we're layering on the third part. So the third part is that now we've perfected our hustle or we're trying to perfect our hustle, if that ever really even happens, of our entire tracker. In week 3, now what we're doing is we are starting to have them dive into calls. I don't have them commit to any calls, no morning wake-up calls, no additional training until week 3. I don't want them on the morning wake-up call on the first 2 weeks unless they absolutely feel like they need to be. For me, I don't want them to be. I want them to get their shit under control and get their handle on things and then layer that call in. Because then I can say, you can listen to this while you're driving to work, you can listen to this, whatever, and it's not so heavy. Whereas in the beginning, if I'm like, plus you need to be on a call on Monday night, plus you need to listen to this Monday call morning, they're going to be like, this is a lot, right? So in week 3, I basically go live. I'm encouraging them. I'm telling them how awesome they're doing. I'm asking them beforehand if they have any questions that I can answer. And I'm giving them little pointers on how now we are going to start inviting to our sneak peek. Okay, so we're funneling. We had this huge funnel of people we invited to our free group, and we helped them and we set the group up and we invited to them. Then we taught them how to connect with them in the group, how to respond, how to cheer people on, and how to invite them and how to funnel them into the paid challenge group. Now they're in the paid challenge group, and that next Monday, so first Monday's new coach group, second Monday is free group, third Monday is paid challenge group, fourth Monday is, it's actually fourth Tuesday, but the fourth week is a live sneak peek. It's an hour event that we host in a private Facebook group, and they can invite to this. Okay, so now we're so excited, you guys. You know, you guys are doing awesome. You've funneled these people through. You're doing great. Now, what we're going to focus on in this week is really making sure our challengers are up to speed. We're going to be acting challengers ourselves, making sure that we're practicing what we preach. And we're also going to be talking to the people that have now been in the free groups and they've been in the challenge group start. So they're probably excited. They're in this place where they're starting to see results. They're starting to feel more positive. They're starting to fall in love with the process. And it's a great time to invite them to a sneak peek. So we teach them examples on how to, and I actually encourage every one of them to one-on-one message every single challenger of theirs and invite them from the heart, saying, I don't know if this would be for you, but I feel like you would absolutely love the positive community because I know that I've heard you say that your job is really stressful, and I just think this would be such a huge impact on your life. I would love if you would just come get free information. And that's how I have them put it out there. Just come get free information. Just come be a fly on the wall. But in their invite, it needs to hit something personal for them. It can't just be, do you want to come join this live sneak peek to hear what our coaching is all about? It needs to be, listen, I know that life is super crazy for you. And I can tell that you're stressed a lot. And for me, I was stressed all the time, and I learned to manage it more with coaching. And I have no clue if it's even for you, but I know that it's changed my life. And I have this event. It's free information. Would you just listen in? I think you'd love it. The point is remember the very first thing that I told you, people aren't going to join you because of where you're at. They're going to join you because of where you're going and how excited you are. So when they are inviting one-on-one all of their challengers that were in the free group, all of their challengers that are in this paid group, and then anyone that is interested in their promotion posts and what they're talking about, and anybody that's just on their heart as well, as they're inviting all these people to this sneak peek, they are making sure that they are excited about where they're going and about what this could do for them. It's the biggest thing. If you invite someone and you're like, I don't really know if you want to come, but it's pretty cool and I love it and da-da-da, they're going to be like, I don't really see the point. But if you're so excited and I feel like you should come to, let me give an example. Jamie, I'm thinking of her right now. She's in my challenge group. She's not very active all the time. She's a single mom. She really wants to lose weight. She really wants to commit. She doesn't have the money. If I were to invite her right now, I would say, hey, Jame, I hope you're doing well. I saw the boys were sick. I hope that they're getting out of that. We've had a rough time too. I just want to ask you, I know you don't have a lot of time, but please know there'll be a recording of this if you can't make it at the same time. But I know that I have some information that could absolutely change your life. I don't know if it's right for you, but I know that from the outside looking in, this would change your life and you would love it. And it would love you, and I would love you to be a part of it. If you would be willing to just listen in while you're doing dishes, I know you're busy. See how personal this has to be. I know you're busy, but while you're doing dishes or whatever, just come in and listen. I just think you'd get so much from the information, and I would love for you to hear it. She's going to have a hard time saying that she doesn't want to, right? And that's how I teach my new coaches to invite. So you are telling them to invite everybody, and then I am hosting a sneak peek with another coach. Typically, we do a shared, right now, we always change it. Once it gets boring, we change it. We did a 3-day, we did a 5-day. Now we're doing where we're sharing a live and we're going back and forth. And I always host it with a coach, or I pull coaches up or whatever. And I host the sneak peek. Everybody joins. Now I can get in front of their prospects. And that's important because I'm more confident in this. I have a story. I have a way of putting it out there that it's going to be able to tie back to them, and I'm doing most of the legwork for them, right? So then you are helping them. Sorry, my mom just texted me about my grandpa. Okay. So, hold on, clear the head. My grandpa went in the hospital today. Sorry. And it looks like he had a mini stroke and his brain is slightly large with fluid. So anyway, prayers, everyone, please. So now I am, I'm doing the sneak peek for them, and then I'm helping them close the conversations. I'm telling them, post your conversations. I'm helping them close. Okay. So week 4 comes. We've been in 3 weeks of this group. We've layered on the pieces. Week 4 comes, and basically in week 4, it's checking in on them, and now they're going to co-run a group with me. They're either going to help me do my next month free group, which is for my new coaches. They're going to help me run my full challenge group, which is for my new coaches that are coming up, right? I'm not doing more work. I'm having them help me now. It takes some of the mess off my plate. They're running part of my group with me in their week 2 or in their month 2, month 3, so that I can focus on my new coaches and on my leaders, which I need to focus on my leaders more. Amanda, make me focus on you. I love you. It's so easy when you're self-starters like Amanda and I were like, wait, I need you. Hey, come back. But anyway, so in week 4, I'm talking about, are they ready to run this group with me? Some people aren't. And I'm like, you need to do this again. Let's do this group again. Do this with me again. Like, you're going to be a participant in this group again. Or they're ready and they graduate from that. They run my challenge group with me. I usually have them just take a week. I teach them how to post in there. With the scripts that we have, encourage them, and basically help them roll customers into the next group. And then I tell them, great, now what you did this first month, you're going to do it again. You're going to invite to my free group that you're going to help me run. You're going to invite to my challenge group that you're going to help me run. You're going to invite to the sneak peek, which you're probably not going to help me run, but someday you can. And then you're either going to do it all again with me, or by then they've linked arms with so many people on our team that they do it together. I never encourage coaches to run their own challenge group by themselves. I never encourage coaches to run their own free group by themselves. When you can do it with someone else, it takes that pressure off, and it just makes the world of difference. There's more excitement and more energy, and everybody has more fun. And the energy in what you're doing in this group is what's going to make or break it. Your energy in your free group, your energy in your challenge group, your energy in your new coach group, my energy in this call. That's what makes or breaks this information for all of you, whether you're understanding and excited about this and understanding me, or all of them in those groups, right? So basically then you rinse, lather, and repeat. And they're going to stay with you for a while, and then they're going to partner up with other people, and then it's just this community that works together. So along with daily posts, I do put in nightly check-ins. So those aren't in the actual launch phase 1 or 2, but I'll just put a check-in and ask how everybody did for the day. I don't get mad when people don't check in, as long as I know they're doing their stuff, their crap, their vitals. Then I don't get mad if they don't check in every day, but I better see a check-in once a week so that I know what the heck you're doing, right? But even either way, I'm checking in on them. Even if they're not my personally sponsored, once a week, I check in on every single one of them individually, one-on-one, just like I would my challengers, because that's important. Even if their coach is checking in on them. So that is the system. It's a lot of information, but it is, you guys, if you think about it, it just all flows one to the other. I have a calendar that I post for my team every single month, and my calendar for my team is the same thing that I run every month. Everyone knows what to expect. First Monday, new coach group. Second Monday, free group. Third Monday, challenge group. Fourth Tuesday, live sneak peek. As far as calls go, Monday's a new coach kickoff call. Tuesday's an all team call that Amanda, are you second runs, or she has a guest speaker or something, so she'll run that. And then third Monday is a live power hour for whichever leader is going to lead it. And then the fourth Monday is, I can lead a topic if I want, or have a guest speaker or whatever. But it's the same thing every single month. And you rinse, lather, repeat. Everybody knows what to expect. It's duplicable. It's simple, even though it sounds like a lot. And it really just leads one right into the other. So with that being said, I have about 3 minutes. We have my stepsons here and we have to get them home. So we have to actually leave here in just a few minutes, but I have a few minutes for questions. If anybody has questions. Was that a lot? Was it too much? Are we feeling good? I'm going to stop the share here. No questions. Molly, how do you feel?
So much better.
That was helpful?
So helpful.
Oh, good.
I could cry. I feel so much better.
Oh, I'm so glad. And I'm going to put all of this in there for you guys to use. And then do not hesitate, anybody. Even though I'm not sleeping and my child's insane. No, I'm kidding. But there's no way that I don't have time to answer questions. As you're doing this, if you even want to shadow one of mine sometime, just let me know. I'm open. Like, what's mine is everybody's on the team. I'm totally not like this is mine. And like whatever you guys need, just let me know. I'm glad
Thank you so much, Lindsay.
You're welcome. All right. Any questions, Taylor? Oops.
No, this was awesome. Thank you so much. I was never actually onboarded by my upline, so this makes everything seem less overwhelming. I really liked how you laid it out with like the live videos and things like that, because I did the get started right calls and then my coaches just kind of like fell off because that's as far as my training went. So this was super helpful. So
Good. I'm glad. All right. Awesome. Amanda, I know you don't probably have any questions, right? I appreciate you listening to this whole thing, even though you already know it. But yeah, this is just, a lot of this is just as much of Amanda as it is me, and our team is just awesome. And any of us I know are here to help anytime. So I won't post this stuff tonight in the group, but tomorrow I will get this stuff up, as long as I'm not driving to Michigan. Unless I'm driving to Michigan, by tomorrow night, I will get these documents uploaded into the group for you guys, so that you guys can start and just ask any questions as you're getting them done, but do it. It is crucial. And then you're just going to see that it's like life just becomes so much easier. So, okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much for staying on and listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Bye, Amanda. Bye, Megan.